Welcome to Hyosung Talk. Today we would like to introduce our secure cash transfer ecosystem to you. My name is Tristan Charles. I'm a senior manager on the product team here at Hyosung. I have over 15 years of experience in the banking and the FI industry.
My name is Trent Pratt. I'm a regional territory manager here at Hyosung. I have the same, Tristan, around 15 years of banking and or ATM FI experience myself.
So our secure cash transfer ecosystem is an exciting new solution we're bringing to market. It is essentially the ability to move cash within a branch in secured locked cassettes under single control. So you have the ability to put any number of notes into a cassette and move that to different devices within the branch. And we wanted to discuss some of the benefits that can bring to an FI.
Absolutely. I'm glad we're here today to talk about it. Some of the questions and feedback that I'm getting in the field, when I bring the secured cash transfer up is, how is it going to benefit me from a cost savings?
Yeah. So the main benefit from just an upfront cost savings with our secure cash transfer ecosystem is the reduction in the amount of CIT visits or branch services that you would need at those ATMs. The amount of times that you're loading that ATM can be reduced drastically, and the time it takes to load those ATMs is reduced drastically. You're able to use one of your other devices, such as a TCR or even one of your other ATMs, as some sort of a day safe where cash can be removed from that and loaded to an ATM that needs that cash put in there. So you're removing that dual control need because of the safety of the locked cassette and the secured cassette.
Absolutely. And that is the feedback, the customers that I do have that, have gone to the secure cash transfer setup. Definitely seeing that benefit and the cost savings on that. What about, audit times or, theft, shrinkage risk?
Yeah. So with the theft and shrinkage risk, our cassettes are secured and locked. So cash that goes in there is verified, and then the same amount of cash comes out that back into the other machine. So there is an audit trail on that. Also, if another benefit of these cassettes that you can actually do these transfers in is it does actually allow our 9 series and our TCRs to do what we refer to as a automated self audit, where the machine can actually verify all the notes within it and give a readout to the FI at the end. So you're removing that old audit where all of the cash has to be pulled out of a machine, counted in jet scan under dual control, hour and a half process. You're taking that down to around a 30-minute process. And everything's going to be recorded in the GLs of each machine in those devices along that way. So there's a full audit trail behind it.
And that definitely, from personal experience, it would always be the vault teller's audit day. They came in at 9 o'clock when your branch opens, and we have to not only audit their specific drawer, but you have to audit the vault and everything that they're, assigned to.
Yeah.
So have you had any feedback on that? I mean, it's reducing the time and letting them get back to taking care of the customers.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, the first thing there is those audits typically require that dual control. So when you're able to do that through an automated fashion, you can now audit that machine under single control when you're doing a machine audit. The drawer audits are also reduced because if you are using a TCR and an ATM in this scenario, the drawer that your teller is going to keep is going to be mostly mutilated or unfit bills. So they won't have as much cash in there, so that the manual part of that audit will be reduced also, while the majority of that audit can be done through that automated fashion.
And I'm hearing, audit time is being cut by up to 75%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, when you put in the dual control needs of the audit, and you're looking at 2 people taking an hour to do a full audit of a drawer and a ATM and the vault, where now you're able to reduce the amount of cash, and then remove that dual control need and do that to an automated fashion that takes 20 to 30 minutes. And another huge benefit of that audit process with especially on ATMs is that's less downtime for your customers. That ATM's in service more for them, and also loading that cash throughout the day, keeping that ATM at the replenishment level where you can be, it doesn't need those services, those emergency CIT services to come out to them.
And that, I mean, that's a good point, because that's another thing that from personal experience, when customers would come in, the ATM's not working, they're not able to get cash, then they have to wait in a teller line to get cash from them.
Yeah.
They would be the ones that would get that customer service, questionnaire. And it never failed that it reflected bad on the branch because of the ATM not being. So that would definitely help that. Some of the obstacles that I'm running into that I'm seeing are, my tellers are good. They're efficient. I don't need this in my branch. And, explain the benefit of being able to take those tellers and get them taking care of customers in a different fashion. It doesn't have to be cut FCT or
Cutting. Yeah, yeah. So I understand exactly where you're coming from, Trent, here. Yeah. So, you don't have to cut those FTs. Staffing is a problem in branches currently in the whole banking industry. Keeping a sufficient staff. And if your staff are doing the day-to-day teller activities, those are actually transactions that are costing your FI money. Your roughly industry averages, those transactions cost about $350 for a simple deposit or withdrawal transaction out of the bank's pocket. What you're able to do by doing those transactions automated or pushing them to a self-service 9 series or doing it through a TCR and reducing that time, you're now able to have those bankers or tellers focus more on that advisory side and those revenue generating benefits, that things that generate revenue for that FI, opening accounts, finding loan opportunities, adding new accounts to a member's profile already. So they're able to build that deposit base, build that loan base, and focus on those things that actually bring it that FI money instead of having to do those day-to-day cash counting transactions that are actually costing you money at that point.
absolutely. And you'll be able to, and the things I'm hearing, they're able to schedule, it's weird to think, but some branches are going single entry. Then they're there from 7:30 to 9 by themselves, which this would work perfect for. And you'd be able to schedule the other tellers at, your high traffic times,
Yeah.
I mean, I love this product. Or is there anything else that, we haven't spoke about that would be a huge benefit for the FI?
So one of the things we see a lot in practice is when you're coming up to a weekend and your ATM is now getting a little bit low, having to replenish that ATM over that weekend, that's an emergency CIT service. They're gonna charge you twice the fee that they would charge normally, even if it's normally a branch serviced ATM that's a through the wall. That CIT would have to come in during those weekend hours, and now your branch staff can take 10-15 minutes at the end of the day, load that cassette full of whatever denominations you want, and load your ATM in that automated fashion. And you can make it through that weekend and be ready for your normal CIT schedule at that point. So pushing those CIT schedule out with avoiding those emergency CIT needs, and basically being able to do that all under a single control fashion. So the time savings and the cash savings for reducing those CIT benefits are just huge for FIs currently.
Good point.
So one other thing is, I always like to mention with our secure cash transfer ecosystem is, even though it works best with 2 devices in branch, so you can move cash from one to another, we also have FIs that are using that transit cassette in their locked cash room. So they will go in and verify their cash in the locked cash room. And this is still under dual control, so you're not getting the full benefit of it, but you're able to fill that secure cash transfer cassette and then load those ATMs in the lobby, load those ATMs, those through the wall ATMs, and you're not having to carry a ton of cash across the floor. So just the security of that, holding a secured cassette is a lot more secure than a bag of cash when you're walking to an ATM room to load cash.
Absolutely. And I know that, what specific products does a branch have to have in order for this to work?
Yeah. So right now, currently, our TCR, our MS500 TCR series, and our 9 series ATMs are the ones that feature our secure cash transfer ecosystem. We're going to be building out more products as we continue to grow in the market. But right now you can have either of those, one or the other, and you can move cash under that. So you can have a branch with two TCRs. They can get the benefits of moving cash from TCR to TCR. You can have a branch with two ATMs. You can move cash from ATM to ATM depending on which one is being used that day to keep those replenished. Or you could have the mix where you have a TCR and an ATM, and then the TCR can become the day safe to keep your ATM replenished throughout the day. And we even see it where it's expanded past that, where you have two TCRs, multiple 9 series in the branch, and the branch is able to essentially run as kind of that hub and spoke model where you have this small branch and it has self-service devices. One staff member, like you said, can handle most of the day there.
Automated.
Because everything is automated, and all they have to do to replenish that ATM for the customer is a 10-15 minute process of loading cash from the TCR and moving it to one of your ATMs for that self-service device.
Right. And, some people may be thinking, well, we just, refreshed our ATM or TCR, which is fine. I understand that. But once we calculate the cost, I've done this with one of my customers. Once you calculate the cost savings, the $350 per transaction and what you're saving on the CIT versus the emergency CIT visits, your return on investment is pretty high.
Yes. Yeah. We ran those numbers, and they look really, really beneficial for the FIs. And we're seeing that in practice. We're seeing FIs deploy this, and they've been very happy with the results that we're getting. Well, thank you guys for joining us for Hyosung Talk today. Again, we just wanted to state some of the major benefits of the secure cash transfer ecosystem. We're able to reduce those dual control needs, eliminate those the excessive CIT visits, and let your branch staff focus on those revenue generating pieces of your business instead of the day-to-day teller transactions. If you'd like more information on the secure cash transfer ecosystem, please check out my blog on Hyosung America. And we hope to have you guys join Hyosung Talk again next time.
Thank you.